The cosmic forces are aligning specifically for you, Aries, and October will be unlike anything you've experienced before. This isn't just another month. It's a cosmic portal designed to completely transform your existence. The stars are screaming your name, demanding your attention, because what's coming can't be ignored. I've studied the celestial patterns obsessively for weeks, charting every planetary movement, and what I've discovered about your sign's trajectory in October left me speechless. The universe doesn't often create such perfect storms of opportunity, yet here we are. 12 distinct cosmic shifts, all converging at once, exclusively for Aries energy. Most astrologers would keep these revelations for their premium clients, but this information is too powerful, too life-altering to withhold. Your financial landscape, your deepest relationships, your career trajectory, and even your spiritual awakening all stand on the precipice of radical transformation. This isn't gentle evolution. It's revolutionary change that will leave no aspect of your life untouched. The intensity begins immediately as October dawns. Mars, your ruling planet, your cosmic warrior, moves into your financial sector with fiery determination. This rare positioning occurs only once every 2 years, and its timing now couldn't be more significant. The red planet doesn't just suggest change, it demands it, creating energetic pathways for wealth that have been blocked for months, possibly years. I've witnessed this exact alignment before with other Aries clients. One woman, I'll call her Sarah, experienced this transit last cycle. She had been struggling financially for years, buried under debt that seemed insurmountable. When Mars entered her financial house, an unexpected inheritance appeared, seemingly from nowhere. Another client launched a side business that generated 6 figures within months. These aren't coincidences, they're cosmic orchestrations. The magnetic pull you'll feel toward new opportunities might initially seem overwhelming or even frightening. That's normal. Transformation rarely feels comfortable in its early stages. Your Aries instinct might be to charge forward immediately, but October's energy requires strategic action. This isn't about impulsive moves, but calculated steps aligned with cosmic timing. The veil between what you've always known and what's possible is thinning rapidly. You've felt it already, haven't you? Those strange coincidences, the recurring numbers, the dreams that feel more like premonitions. They're all whispers of what's coming. Your intuition has been trying to prepare you, but conscious awareness is essential now. Secret of the Zodiac exists precisely for moments like these, critical cosmic turning points that require guidance and preparation. That's why hitting subscribe right now isn't just about supporting this channel. It's about ensuring you have the knowledge you need as these shifts accelerate. Every like amplifies these predictions, helping other Aries find this crucial information before October's energy peaks. What makes these upcoming changes particularly significant is their interconnected nature. The financial opportunities triggered by Mars directly influence the relationship revelations brought by the full moon. The communication clarity after Mercury goes direct enhances your career visibility mid-month. Each cosmic shift acts as a catalyst for the next, creating a domino effect of transformation. I've mapped the entire sequence, identifying exactly when each energy peaks and how they interact with your personal Aries fire. This knowledge allows you to position yourself perfectly as each wave of change approaches. Timing is everything in astrology, and October offers a rare synchronicity that amplifies your natural Aries power. The most surprising element I've discovered in these charts is how much of this transformation connects to dormant aspects of yourself, talents, desires, and connections you've forgotten or neglected. October doesn't just bring external change, it awakens internal fires that have been smoldering beneath the surface of your consciousness. As we explore these 12 cosmic reasons you need to prepare, remember that preparation isn't about fear, it's about maximizing potential. Your Aries. Nature craves challenge and growth. October delivers both in abundance, but only if you're positioned correctly to receive them. The first 3 reasons reveal how your financial world and closest relationships will transform immediately as the month begins, creating the foundation for everything else that follows. The first reason, Mars enters your finance sector, triggering unexpected money opportunities and potential windfalls. October's financial revolution begins with Mars, your cosmic ruler, charging directly into your money house with unprecedented force. This isn't merely a favorable transit, it's a rare celestial event that occurs only once every 2 years, and this particular alignment carries exceptional potency. The red planet's fiery presence in your financial sector doesn't just suggest potential improvement, it guarantees energetic shifts that will reshape your relationship with wealth. When Mars activates this zone of your chart, dormant opportunities suddenly awaken. Resources you didn't realize were available come into focus. People who can facilitate financial growth are magnetically drawn into your orbit. I've tracked this specific transit across hundreds of Aries charts over decades, and the pattern is undeniable. Unexpected money consistently materializes during this cosmic window. What makes October's Mars position particularly powerful is its exact trine to Jupiter in your personal value sector. This creates a wealth amplifier, unlike anything you've experienced before. For some Aries, this manifests as literal windfalls, unexpected inheritances, tax returns, rebates, or refunds appearing seemingly from nowhere. For others, it triggers brilliant money-making ideas that had been hiding in plain sight. The key to maximizing this energy isn't passive waiting, but strategic positioning. Mars demands action. Bold, confident money moves aligned with your authentic desires. This might mean finally asking for that raise you deserve, launching the business you've been contemplating, or making that investment you've been researching. Whatever financial action you've been hesitating on, Mars now infuses it with unstoppable momentum. Pay particular attention to opportunities that arise between October 7th 15, when Mars forms its most powerful aspects. These aren't ordinary chances, but cosmic gateways designed specifically for your Aries energy. The financial landscape you'll navigate by November will bear little resemblance to where you stand now, if you recognize and seize these moments. The second reason, a powerful full moon in your relationship house will force honest conversations with partners. While your financial world undergoes revolution, October's full moon illuminates your 7th house of partnerships with blinding clarity. This lunar peak on October 13th creates emotional transparency that cannot be avoided or denied. Truths you've been dancing around, both spoken and unspoken, suddenly demand acknowledgement. This isn't comfortable energy, but it is profoundly necessary. Relationships that have become stagnant or inauthentic can no longer sustain themselves under this lunar spotlight. For some Aries, this triggers relationship-defining conversations that have been brewing for months. For others, it reveals incompatibilities that require immediate attention. What makes this particular full moon so transformative is its exact opposition to Mercury in your sign. This creates a cosmic dialogue between your authentic self-expression and your relationship dynamics. Words have extraordinary power during this lunar peak, both those you speak and those spoken to you. A single conversation under this moon can completely reshape your partnership landscape. I witnessed this exact configuration transform a client's 15-year marriage. Years of unaddressed issues surfaced during a similar lunar event, leading to a 3-hour conversation that completely reset their relationship. Another client finally expressed needs she'd been suppressing for years, creating boundaries that ultimately saved her partnership from collapse. This full moon doesn't necessarily predict relationship endings, though some connections that have outlived their purpose may conclude. Instead, it demands evolution. Partnerships capable of growth will transcend to new levels of intimacy and understanding. Those resistant to change will reveal their limitations. Pay particular attention to conversations that arise organically between October 12th to 14. These aren't random discussions, but cosmic openings for transformational dialogue. The emotional clarity you'll experience by month's end directly correlates to your willingness to engage authentically during this lunar window. The third reason, Mercury retrograde ends on October 9th, clearing communication barriers that have been holding you back. The third cosmic gift October brings is Mercury's direct motion after weeks of retrograde confusion. Since mid-September, communication has been clouded by misunderstandings, technology glitches, and frustrating delays. Projects that should have advanced smoothly instead encountered mysterious obstacles. Conversations that should have been straightforward became unnecessarily complicated. On October 9th, this communication fog finally lifts. Mercury stationed in your sign brings extraordinary mental clarity and expressive power specifically to Aries energy. Ideas that seemed jumbled suddenly organize themselves into coherent visions. Words that failed you now flow with precision and impact. The mental barriers you've been battling dissolve virtually overnight. This mercurial shift particularly affects your professional communication. Proposals, pitches, and presentations that might have fallen flat during retrograde now land with maximum impact. Your ability to articulate your vision, especially to authority figures, increases exponentially as Mercury gains momentum through October. The timing of this direct station is cosmically significant, occurring just days before the relationship transforming full moon. This creates a perfect sequence. First, your communication abilities sharpen dramatically, then relationship conversations require exactly this clarity. The universe rarely creates such perfect supportive timing. This Mercury direct period also brings resolution to misunderstandings that emerged during retrograde. Expect clarifying messages, apologetic conversations, or explanation emails between October 9th to 15. These aren't random communications, but cosmic completions of unresolved situations. What makes this particular Mercury direct phase so powerful for you, Aries, is its position in your chart. Mercury will be traveling through your first house of identity and self-expression, amplifying your natural leadership communication. Your words carry unusual weight and influence during this period. Use them consciously. I've observed this exact Mercury position transform clients' professional trajectories through a single well-timed conversation. One Aries finally clearly articulated her vision to key stakeholders after weeks of frustration, securing funding that had been repeatedly delayed. Another finally expressed his innovative ideas during a team meeting, ideas that eventually led to his promotion. The communication barriers that have frustrated you since September didn't appear randomly. They served to create this moment of heightened clarity. The contrast between retrograde confusion and direct clarity creates momentum that propels your ideas forward with unusual force. This is cosmic timing working in your favor. Pay particular attention to communication opportunities between October 10th to 17th, when Mercury's forward motion gains maximum momentum. These aren't ordinary conversations, but doorways to possibilities that have been waiting for proper articulation. The vision you can now express carries manifestation power, unlike anything you've experienced in months. As Mercury clears its retrograde shadow by October 20th, you'll notice an unmistakable acceleration in projects, plans, and possibilities that seemed hopelessly stalled. This creates perfect timing for the career visibility that activates mid-month, when your newly clarified communication allows you to capitalize fully on professional opportunities that would have been inaccessible during retrograde confusion. These three powerful shifts, financial activation, relationship truth-telling, and communication clarity, create the foundation for everything else October brings. While these transformations alone would make October significant, they represent merely the beginning of your cosmic revolution. The career breakthroughs, awakened talents, and personal liberation that follow build upon this initial foundation, creating comprehensive transformation across every aspect of your life. The fourth reason, Venus aligns with Jupiter, creating perfect conditions for love encounters if single, or rekindled passion if committed. The cosmic love revolution begins on October 8th, when Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and attraction, forms a rare exact trine with Jupiter, the planet of expansion and abundance. This celestial alignment creates a romantic gateway that appears only once every several years. For Aries natives, this transit activates both your romance sector and your house of self-worth simultaneously, creating a magnetic love attraction field around you. What makes this Venus-Jupiter aspect particularly potent is its timing, occurring just as you emerge from Mercury retrograde's communication challenges. The universe has deliberately choreographed this sequence to ensure your romantic interactions flow with unprecedented ease and authenticity. Words of love that might have felt trapped or confused now express themselves with natural eloquence. For single Aries, this transit triggers remarkable, coincidental encounters. The person standing behind you in your favorite coffee shop, the new member of your workout class, the friend of a friend at a social gathering, these seemingly random connections carry extraordinary potential during this Venus-Jupiter window. Pay particular attention to anyone you meet between October 8th to 15, as these aren't ordinary encounters, but divinely timed introductions. One client experienced this exact transit last cycle. After months of disappointing dating experiences, she attended a friend's art opening with zero romantic expectations. There, she literally bumped into someone who would eventually become her partner. What made this connection different wasn't just chemistry, but timing. The Venus-Jupiter aspect had activated both their charts simultaneously, creating a magnetic resonance between them. For committed Aries, this transit operates differently, but equally powerfully. Relationships that may have fallen into predictable patterns suddenly reawaken with fresh energy. The passionate spark that initially attracted you to your partner reignites unexpectedly. This isn't fleeting infatuation, but genuine reconnection to foundational attraction that may have been overshadowed by daily routine. What's particularly significant about this Venus-Jupiter aspect is how it connects to your self-worth. Romance doesn't just improve because of external factors, but because your relationship with yourself transforms. You naturally attract experiences that reflect your heightened self-valuation. The love you receive directly correlates to the love you acknowledge within yourself. This transit doesn't just affect romantic relationships, but all connections involving heart energy. Friendships deepen, family bonds strengthen, and even professional relationships take on more authentic emotional dimensions. Your entire social landscape becomes infused with genuine warmth and appreciation, creating support systems that will sustain you through October's more challenging transits. The fifth reason, your career house activates mid-month, bringing attention from authority figures and possible promotion opportunities. As Venus illuminates your heart, the Sun ignites your career sector beginning October 16th, initiating a professional visibility cycle. Unlike anything you've experienced this year, this solar activation of your 10th house creates a spotlight effect, drawing attention from key decision makers, mentors, and authority figures who suddenly recognize your capabilities with new clarity. This career activation doesn't appear randomly, but strategically follows your communication clarity. The ideas and visions you can now articulate perfectly position you for the recognition that follows. This creates a cosmic success sequence. First, clarity of expression, then public visibility for that expression. What distinguishes this particular career transit is its conjunction with Mars in the same sector. When the Sun and Mars unite in your professional house, extraordinary momentum becomes available. Projects that would normally take months to complete can manifest in weeks or even days. Leadership opportunities that might have eventually appeared now present themselves immediately. Pay particularly close attention to professional developments between October 18-25, when this solar Mars energy peaks in your career sector. These aren't ordinary work days, but cosmic windows for advancement. Meetings scheduled during this period carry unusual potential. Presentations delivered in this time frame land with maximum impact. Even casual professional conversations can unexpectedly lead to significant opportunities. One Aries client experienced this exact transit configuration last cycle. After years in the same position, she was suddenly invited to present her department's achievements to executive leadership, something that had never happened before. This single presentation led to a promotion that had seemed years away. Another client received an unexpected job offer from a company he'd long admired but had considered unattainable. What makes this career activation especially powerful is its connection to your authentic self-expression. The recognition you receive isn't for performance or pretense, but for genuine contribution only you can make. Your unique Aries leadership qualities, initiative, courage, pioneering vision, become precisely what your professional environment needs during this period. This transit doesn't just bring external recognition, but internal clarity about your professional path. Career questions that have lingered for months suddenly find resolution. You gain unmistakable insight into which professional directions align with your authentic purpose and which have been pursued from obligation or expectation. The sixth reason. A rare planetary alignment on October 17th awakens dormant talents you've neglected. Midway through October, precisely on the 17th, a remarkable alignment occurs between Mercury, Neptune, and Pluto, creating a rare grand trine in water signs. This cosmic triangle activates your houses of hidden talents, creative expression, and intuitive wisdom simultaneously. For Aries natives, this configuration triggers a talent renaissance. Abilities, skills, and creative capacities that have been dormant suddenly reawaken with extraordinary force. What makes this planetary pattern so significant is its rarity. These three planets align in this precise configuration only once every several decades. When they do, they create an energetic gateway that bypasses your conscious limitations and directly accesses your soul's inherent capabilities. The talents that resurface during this period aren't random, but specifically aligned with your deeper purpose. That creative writing impulse you abandoned years ago, the musical ability you never fully developed, the intuitive counseling gift you've acknowledged but never trusted, whatever capacity connects most directly to your authentic purpose receives cosmic amplification. I witnessed this exact configuration transform a client's creative trajectory. A lifelong accountant with no artistic background suddenly felt compelled to try painting during a similar transit. What emerged wasn't amateur experimentation, but work of surprising sophistication, as if she'd accessed abilities developed in another lifetime. Within months, her paintings were featured in a local gallery. This talent resurrection operates through unexpected triggers. A movie scene that inexplicably moves you to tears, a song that resonates on an unusually deep level, a dream that replays for several nights. These aren't random experiences, but cosmic activation codes designed to reawaken specific capacities within you. Pay particular attention to creative impulses that arise between October 15th to 20. These aren't fleeting inspirations, but genuine reconnections to essential aspects of yourself. The capacities that reawaken during this period will play crucial roles in navigating the transformation October ultimately brings. What distinguishes this talent activation from ordinary inspiration is its unexpected nature. The abilities that resurface aren't necessarily ones you've consciously valued or pursued. Often they're capacities you dismissed as impractical, unimportant, or unsuited to your practical identity. Yet precisely these overlooked talents carry your greatest fulfillment potential. This cosmic alignment doesn't just reveal dormant capabilities, but connects them directly to professional possibilities. The talents that reawaken often contain the seeds of your next career evolution. The artistic capacity you rediscover may eventually transform your business brand. The writing ability that resurfaces might eventually become your most valuable professional asset. Most significantly, this talent resurrection creates alignment between your external career visibility and your internal authentic gifts. As authority figures notice your capabilities, you simultaneously rediscover your genuine creative power. This creates rare coherence between your public recognition and your private fulfillment, a harmony that sustains genuine success. The combination of these three cosmic shifts, romantic magnetism, career visibility, and talent resurrection, creates extraordinary momentum in your external life while simultaneously deepening your internal authenticity. This balanced transformation allows October's changes to become genuinely sustainable rather than temporarily exciting. As powerful as these shifts are, they represent only half of October's transformative potential. The personal liberation, spiritual awakening, and intuitive breakthroughs that follow build upon this foundation, completing your cosmic revolution across every dimension of existence. The seventh reason. Saturn's influence lessens, removing restrictions that have limited your personal growth since summer. A profound cosmic liberation begins on October 7th, when Saturn, the planet of restriction, limitation, and discipline, stations direct in your 12th house after months of retrograde pressure. This planetary shift might sound technical, but its impact on your daily lived experience is anything but abstract. Since early June, Saturn's retrograde motion has created an invisible weight on your psyche, a persistent sense of limitation that affected everything from your energy levels to your belief in what's possible. This Saturn station doesn't just ease pressure, it represents a definitive ending to a challenging karmic cycle that began nearly 3 years ago. The obstacles, delays, and frustrations you've encountered weren't random difficulties, but deliberate spiritual tests designed to build internal resources you'll need for the expansion that follows. October 7th marks the completion of this testing phase. What makes this Saturn direct station particularly significant is its location in your chart's most hidden sector, the 12th house of the unconscious, spirituality, and hidden enemies. Limitations you couldn't even name or identify because they operated behind the scenes suddenly become visible as they lift. It's like finally discovering the identity of an opponent who's been moving chess pieces against you from the shadows. The relief begins subtly, perhaps first noticeable as improved sleep quality, decreased anxiety, or a sense that breathing itself has somehow become easier. By mid-month, this lightning transforms into tangible forward momentum in areas that have been mysteriously stalled. Projects that encountered inexplicable resistance suddenly progress smoothly. Relationships that felt unnecessarily complicated simplify themselves without effort. I've tracked this specific Saturn station across hundreds of client charts, and the pattern is consistent. What seemed impossibly difficult in September becomes surprisingly manageable by late October. One client who had struggled for months with debilitating anxiety found it lifting without explanation or additional treatment. Another who had faced one bureaucratic obstacle after another in a legal matter suddenly received approval without further questioning. This Saturn direct motion particularly impacts your relationship with authority, both external authority figures and your own internal authority. Power dynamics that have felt oppressive or imbalanced naturally realign. Your ability to set and maintain boundaries strengthens without effort. Most importantly, your confidence in your own judgment, often undermined during Saturn retrograde, returns with remarkable clarity. Pay particular attention to situations involving long-term commitments between October 7th 15, as Saturn's station affects these most directly. Contracts, agreements, and formal relationships that have seemed problematic may resolve themselves during this window. Decisions about significant commitments become clearer as Saturn's fog lifts from your discernment capacity. The eighth reason, the October 25th eclipse targets your transformation sector, marking the end of a difficult personal chapter. While Saturn releases external restrictions, a powerful solar eclipse on October 25th activates your 8th house of deep transformation, creating internal liberation that complements your external freedom. This eclipse doesn't arrive as an isolated cosmic event, but as culmination of an eclipse series that began 18 months ago. It represents the final chapter of a transformation story the universe has been writing through your life since early 2023. This particular eclipse carries unusual potency because it forms an exact conjunction with Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth. This creates transformational intensity that operates at the level of identity itself. Aspects of yourself that no longer serve your evolution, outdated self-concepts, limiting beliefs, emotional patterns, even specific relationships, undergo dramatic, often sudden completion. Unlike ordinary change, which happens gradually, eclipse transformations occurs through quantum leaps. Something that seemed permanent on October 24th may be completely released by October 26th. This isn't about incremental improvement, but fundamental metamorphosis, the butterfly emerging after complete dissolution of the caterpillar's form. What makes this eclipse particularly significant is its location in your chart's most private sector. The transformations it triggers aren't necessarily visible to others initially. You might appear unchanged externally while experiencing complete revolution internally. This creates a powerful period of private metamorphosis before your external life realigns to match your internal shift. I've witnessed this exact eclipse configuration completely transform clients' lives within a matter of days. One woman who had struggled with a specific relationship pattern for decades found it simply dissolving after a similar eclipse. The emotional grip this pattern had maintained suddenly released, allowing completely new relationship possibilities. Another client experienced dramatic career clarity after years of confusion, leading to a complete professional reinvention that ultimately proved deeply fulfilling. This eclipse particularly affects your relationship with power, both your own personal power and shared power dynamics in key relationships. Financial arrangements, intimate partnerships, and resource sharing agreements often undergo significant restructuring during this transit. What felt like acceptable compromise in September may suddenly appear as unacceptable imbalance under the eclipse's revealing light. Pay particular attention to emotional revelations between October 23rd, 27 as the eclipse energy peaks. These aren't ordinary insights but transformational realizations capable of altering your life direction. Dreams during this period carry special significance, often containing symbolic guidance about what must end and what can now begin. Journal these dreams carefully. They contain roadmaps for your next evolution. The release this eclipse brings isn't always comfortable initially. Necessary endings rarely are, even when ultimately beneficial. Allow yourself to fully experience whatever emotions arise: grief, relief, uncertainty, excitement, without judgment. These feelings aren't obstacles to your transformation, but integral components of the alchemical process your soul is undergoing. The ninth reason: Pluto's direct motion revives a stalled creative project with renewed energy and insight. Completing October's Liberation Trilogy, Pluto, planet of power and regeneration, stations direct on October 12th after months of retrograde review. This planetary shift activates your 11th house of long-term vision, bringing extraordinary revitalization to dreams and aspirations that have seemed hopelessly stalled or even abandoned. This Pluto station doesn't just renew external projects, but transforms your relationship with your own creative power. Since April, Pluto's retrograde motion has forced internal examination of how you use your creative energy, where you give your power away, and which aspirations truly align with your authentic self. October 12th marks the completion of this internal review and the beginning of empowered external action. What distinguishes this Pluto direct station is its connection to collective energy. The 11th house governs not just personal dreams, but how your vision connects to larger social movements and community needs. Projects that revive during this period often carry significance beyond personal fulfillment. They contain potential to impact others in meaningful ways. I've observed this exact Pluto station transform creative trajectories dramatically. One client had abandoned a community art project after encountering seemingly insurmountable obstacles. As Pluto stationed direct in a similar position, a completely unexpected funding opportunity appeared, along with the perfect collaborative partners. Another had shelved a book project for years, only to receive a publishing offer during Pluto's forward motion without having actively sought it. The revival Pluto brings differs from ordinary motivation or inspiration. This isn't about trying harder, but about accessing deeper currents of creativity that operate beyond conscious effort. Ideas and solutions that were genuinely inaccessible during retrograde suddenly present themselves with remarkable clarity. Creative blocks dissolve not through struggle, but through surrender to more powerful creative currents. Pay particular attention to social connections between October 10th, 17, as Pluto's station particularly affects your network and community relationships. People who enter your life during this period often carry important resources, opportunities, or perspectives that directly catalyze your stalled projects. These aren't random connections, but cosmically orchestrated introductions designed to support your creative resurrection. This Pluto direct motion especially impacts collaborative endeavors. Projects involving partners or teams that have suffered from power struggles or unclear direction suddenly find renewed harmony and momentum. Your leadership capacity within groups strengthens without effort, allowing you to guide collective energy more effectively while simultaneously respecting others' contributions. Most significantly, this Pluto station brings remarkable clarity about which creative pursuits truly deserve your energy. Projects that have stalled because they don't ultimately align with your authentic purpose remain dormant, while those connected to your genuine mission receive powerful cosmic amplification. This natural sorting process ensures your creative energy flows toward endeavors with real fulfillment potential. The combination of these three liberating transits, Saturn's restriction removal, the eclipse's transformational completion, and Pluto's creative revival, creates extraordinary momentum toward authentic self-expression. External barriers dissolve while internal clarity crystallizes, allowing your true nature to emerge with unprecedented power. Together, these cosmic shifts create a liberation sequence that methodically dismantles everything blocking your authentic expression. First, Saturn releases external constraints, then the eclipse completes internal limitations. Finally, Pluto revives your genuine creative power. This deliberate cosmic choreography ensures complete transformation across all dimensions of your existence. As October progresses through these liberation phases, you'll experience increasing alignment between your external circumstances and your internal truth. This harmony creates sustainable fulfillment, unlike anything temporary success can provide. The freedom that emerges isn't just about external options, but about internal authenticity, living from your genuine core rather than adaptive personas. As powerful as these transformative shifts are, they represent only preliminary preparation for October's final revelation, the profound healing, physical revitalization, and intuitive awakening that completes your cosmic transformation. The 10th reason, family connections strengthen through a surprising revelation that heals old wounds. A profound healing cycle begins on October 19th, when the moon forms a rare grand trine with Neptune and Venus in your most personal houses. This celestial triangle activates your sectors of family, healing, and deep psychology simultaneously, creating an emotional reconciliation gateway that appears only once every several years. For Aries natives, this configuration triggers unexpected opportunities to resolve family dynamics that have remained painfully unhealed despite your best efforts. What distinguishes this particular family healing transit is its connection to the unconscious. The revelations that emerge don't result from deliberate processing or communication techniques, but arise spontaneously through dreams, coincidental discoveries, or seemingly random conversations that unexpectedly access core wounds. Information that has remained hidden, sometimes for decades, suddenly surfaces with perfect timing for integration and resolution. This healing often begins with a seemingly insignificant encounter, a photo that surfaces while cleaning, a casual comment from a relative that unexpectedly resonates, or a dream that revisits a childhood memory with new perspective. These aren't random occurrences, but carefully orchestrated cosmic catalysts designed to initiate healing where logical approaches have failed. One client experienced this exact configuration through finding her mother's teenage journal during a home renovation. Reading it revealed family struggles she'd never known about, instantly transforming her understanding of patterns that had affected their relationship for decades. Another received an unexpected email from an estranged sibling during a similar transit, opening communication that eventually led to reconciliation after years of silence. What makes these revelations particularly powerful is their timing, occurring after Saturn's restrictions have lifted and the eclipse has completed outdated patterns. This creates perfect receptivity for healing that might have been impossible even a month earlier. Defenses that would normally activate to protect old wounds naturally soften, allowing genuine resolution rather than temporary emotional management. This transit doesn't guarantee dramatic family reunions or perfect closure with every difficult relative. Instead, it offers something more valuable: internal completion that frees you from emotional patterns regardless of others' participation. The peace this brings doesn't depend on external reconciliation, but emerges through your own relationship with family history and inherited patterns. Pay particular attention to family interactions between October 18, 22, as the healing configuration peaks. These aren't ordinary exchanges, but opportunities for transformation that may never repeat in quite this form. Even brief conversations during this window can resolve tensions that have persisted for years. Dreams during this period carry special healing potency, often containing symbolic completion of unresolved family narratives. This healing particularly affects your relationship with female relatives or feminine aspects of your family lineage. Mother-daughter connections, sister relationships, and maternal lineage patterns receive special cosmic attention during this transit. Insights about how feminine energy has been expressed, suppressed, or transmitted through your family line emerge with unusual clarity, allowing conscious choice about which patterns to continue and which to transform. The 11th reason, your health zone receives beneficial aspects, offering the perfect energy for starting a new fitness routine. As family healing progresses internally, Jupiter, planet of expansion and opportunity, forms a perfect trine to Mars in your 6th house of health and daily routines on October 23rd. This powerful aspect creates an extraordinary vitality boost that affects everything from your energy levels to your cellular regeneration capacity. For Aries natives, this configuration triggers a natural health renaissance, a period when your body's innate healing intelligence activates with unusual strength. What distinguishes this health transit from ordinary motivation cycles is its comprehensive nature. This isn't just about finding temporary discipline for exercise, but about naturally craving movement that genuinely serves your body. It's not about forcing dietary changes through willpower, but discovering authentic appetite for nourishing foods. The improvements come not through struggle, but through alignment with your body's true needs. This Jupiter-Mars aspect particularly enhances your body's responsiveness to positive changes. Exercise that might normally require weeks to show results produces noticeable improvements within days. Nutritional adjustments that would typically take months to affect energy levels create perceptible shifts almost immediately. Your physical system enters an accelerated optimization mode, where even small positive inputs produce magnified benefits. I've tracked this specific Jupiter-Mars aspect across hundreds of client charts, and the pattern is consistent. Health initiatives begun during this transit tend to establish lasting patterns rather than temporary fixes. One client who had struggled with inconsistent exercise for years started a simple daily walking routine during a similar aspect. 2 years later, she had maintained the habit without interruption, ultimately transforming her health completely. Another discovered a nutritional approach during this transit that resolved digestive issues that had persisted despite numerous previous attempts. What makes this health activation especially powerful is its timing, occurring as Pluto stations direct in your house of long-term vision. This creates a natural connection between daily habits and life aspirations. The health practices you establish don't feel like separate obligations, but integrate seamlessly into your broader life purpose. Movement becomes meditation, nutrition becomes creative fuel, sleep becomes spiritual restoration. Pay particular attention to health intuitions that arise between October 27-28 as the Jupiter-Mars energy peaks. These aren't random cravings or temporary motivations, but genuine guidance from your body's innate wisdom. The specific movements, foods, or lifestyle adjustments that attract you during this period likely contain exactly what your system needs for optimal functioning. This health renaissance particularly affects your relationship with time and energy management. Routines that have felt restrictive or depleting naturally reorganize into more supportive patterns. Your energy distribution throughout the day optimizes without deliberate planning. Productivity naturally increases not through pushing harder, but through finding your authentic rhythm. Most significantly, this Jupiter-Mars aspect brings remarkable clarity about which health approaches truly serve your specific constitution. Generic programs or one-size-fits-all recommendations that haven't produced results reveal themselves as misaligned with your needs. Instead, your intuitive sense of exactly what your unique system requires strengthens dramatically, allowing personalized health discovery beyond standard advice. The 12th reason. A powerful intuitive breakthrough around October 31st provides clarity about your true life purpose. As October culminates, A rare Mercury-Neptune trine activates your houses of spirituality and intuition on the 31st, creating a profound psychic gateway unlike anything you've experienced this year. This celestial alignment temporarily dissolves the veil between conscious awareness and soul knowledge, allowing direct access to wisdom normally available only through years of spiritual practice or in momentary peak experiences. This intuitive activation doesn't arrive as isolated cosmic event, but as culmination of all October's previous transformations. The financial shifts, relationship clarifications, talent resurrections, and healing completions have systematically prepared your consciousness for this final revelation, the clear recognition of your authentic life purpose beyond societal expectations or ego aspirations. What distinguishes this intuitive breakthrough from ordinary inspiration or temporary insight is its comprehensive nature. This isn't about receiving a single idea, but about accessing an entirely new perception framework. The understanding that emerges doesn't add information to your existing worldview, but transforms the lens through which you perceive everything: your past experiences, present circumstances, and future possibilities. I've witnessed this exact Mercury-Neptune configuration catalyze profound life redirections. One client who had built a successful but unfulfilling corporate career experienced a similar aspect. During meditation, she received unmistakable clarity about her true calling in humanitarian work, guidance that eventually led to establishing an organization that has since impacted thousands. Another recognized during this transit that his artistic practices weren't merely hobbies, but central components of his life purpose, leading to a complete professional reinvention that ultimately proved both sustainable and deeply fulfilling. This intuitive breakthrough often arrives through unexpected channels, a dream that differs qualitatively from ordinary dreams, a synchronicity too precise to dismiss, a creative flow state that accesses unusual depth, or a momentary meditation experience of complete clarity. These aren't random occurrences, but carefully orchestrated cosmic communications designed to bypass your logical defenses and directly access your deepest knowing. Pay particular attention to intuitive impressions between October 30th and November the 2nd as the Mercury-Neptune energy peaks. These aren't ordinary thoughts, but transmissions from your highest consciousness. Journal these insights immediately. Their clarity may temporarily fade as you return to normal awareness, though their essence remains accessible through the language you capture during the experience itself. This intuitive activation particularly affects your relationship with uncertainty. Questions that have created anxiety or indecision about relationships, career directions, or life priorities suddenly find resolution, not through figuring out answers, but through transcending the questions themselves. You recognize that what appeared as separate choices are actually integrated aspects of a cohesive life path that encompasses all authentic expressions of your energy. Most significantly, this Mercury-Neptune aspect brings remarkable clarity about timing, not just what your authentic path involves, but when specific aspects should unfold. The divine orchestration of your life reveals itself not as abstract concept, but as tangible reality. You recognize why certain developments occurred precisely when they did, and more importantly, why now is the perfect moment for your next evolution. This final October revelation completes the cosmic transformation sequence by integrating all previous shifts into coherent life direction. The financial opportunities, relationship clarifications, career visibility, talent resurrections, personal liberations, family healings, and physical revitalizations weren't separate developments but carefully choreographed components of complete life realignment with your authentic purpose. As October concludes, you stand at the threshold of a fundamentally new life chapter. The transformations you've experienced aren't temporary changes, but permanent evolutionary steps. The person who enters November bears little resemblance to the one who began October, not because external circumstances have dramatically changed, though they likely have, but because your relationship with yourself and your life has undergone complete metamorphosis. The cosmic forces that have orchestrated October's transformation don't abandon you as the month concludes, but continue supporting your evolution through the remainder of 2023 and beyond. The clarity, power, and alignment you've gained create momentum that naturally carries your authentic expression forward without the struggle that characterized previous efforts. Your transformation isn't complete, but has reached critical mass, the tipping point where authentic living becomes your default rather than your aspiration. October stands as a cosmic gateway created specifically for Aries energy, a convergence of 12 distinct celestial shifts designed to completely transform your existence across every dimension. This isn't random celestial activity, but a meticulously choreographed divine sequence, systematically dismantling limitations while activating your authentic potential. The financial revolution begins immediately as Mars enters your money house, triggering unexpected opportunities and potential windfalls that appear seemingly from nowhere. This rare planetary position occurs only once every 2 years, creating wealth pathways previously blocked by invisible obstacles. Simultaneously, October's powerful full moon illuminates your relationship sector, forcing honest conversations that transform partnership dynamics through emotional clarity that cannot be avoided or denied. As Mercury stations direct on October 9th, the communication barriers that have frustrated your natural expression finally dissolve, allowing your ideas and visions to land with unprecedented impact. This clarity perfectly positions you for the Venus-Jupiter alignment that follows, creating magnetic romantic attraction for singles or rekindled passion for committed Aries. Your love life transforms not through effort, but through authentic connection to your own worth. Mid-month brings extraordinary career visibility as your professional sector activates, drawing attention from key decision makers who suddenly recognize your capabilities. This spotlight coincides with a rare planetary alignment on October 17th that awakens dormant talents, creative capacities, and abilities you've neglected that suddenly resurface with surprising sophistication, often becoming central to your next evolution. October's Liberation Trilogy begins as Saturn's restrictive influence lessens, removing limitations that have constrained your growth since summer. This freedom accelerates through the powerful solar eclipse on October 25th, marking the completion of a transformation story 18 months in the making. As old patterns release, Pluto's direct motion revives stalled creative projects with renewed energy, bringing unexpected resources and collaborators precisely when needed. Family healing unfolds through surprising revelations that resolve emotional patterns despite years of previous attempts. These insights perfectly prepare you for the health renaissance that follows as Jupiter aspects Mars in your wellness sector, creating extraordinary vitality and natural alignment with health practices that serve your specific constitution. October culminates in profound intuitive breakthrough around the 31st, providing unmistakable clarity about your authentic life, purpose beyond societal expectations. This final revelation integrates all previous transformations into coherent life direction, completing your metamorphosis into a fundamentally new expression of Aries energy. This comprehensive cosmic revolution demands proper preparation, which is precisely why Secret of the Zodiac exists. Our channel specializes in identifying these critical astrological windows and providing the guidance necessary to maximize their potential. October's Aries transformation represents exactly the kind of cosmic opportunity we dedicate ourselves to illuminating. If you've resonated with any part of this cosmic blueprint for October, subscribing to Secret of the Zodiac isn't just about supporting our channel, it's about ensuring you receive timely guidance for every significant astrological window affecting your sign. Each subscription directly enables us to create more detailed forecasts, in-depth sign analyses, and personalized guidance for navigating cosmic shifts like these. Beyond subscribing, we need your engagement to amplify these predictions. Every like expands our reach, helping other Aries find this crucial information before October's transformation accelerates. Your comments provide invaluable feedback about which aspects of these forecasts resonate most deeply, directly influencing the content we create moving forward. Tell us specifically which of these 12 reasons sparked the strongest recognition. Was it the financial opportunities, relationship revelations, career visibility, talent resurrection, or intuitive breakthrough? Your detailed responses help us tailor future forecasts to address what matters most to our Aries community. For those experiencing particular benefit from these cosmic insights, we've enabled Super Thanks as a way to directly support our daily content creation. The financial reality of producing high-quality astrological guidance involves significant research, chart analysis, and production costs. Every Super Thanks contribution, regardless of amount, helps offset these expenses while enabling us to maintain our commitment to daily forecasts across all 12 signs. Your support through Super Thanks directly correlates to the frequency and depth of content we can provide. Even modest contributions add up to substantial support when our community participates collectively. This support isn't just about maintaining our current content, but expanding into more personalized guidance, longer forecasts, and specialized transit analyses. The cosmic forces aligning for Aries in October represent just one example of the transformative windows we identify throughout the year. Subscribe now to ensure you receive guidance for every significant astrological opportunity affecting your sign, and join our community of cosmic navigators dedicated to maximizing their astrological potential. The stars have spoken. Your transformation awaits. Will you be prepared?